I woke up feeling like shit, my head pounding and my whole body aching. Where the fuck was I? Some kind of hut. The smell hit me first, herbs and something earthy. You're awake, a deep voice said. I tried to sit up but nearly puked from the effort. A tall dude pushed me back down. Easy there, you've been out for days. Who are you? I managed to croak out. Name's Ray. Found you half dead by the stream. What's your story? I blinked, trying to remember. Nothing, blank. I don't know, can't remember anything. Ray's eyes narrowed. You a spy? My father send you? What? No. He cut me off, his voice rising. Then who the hell are you? I told you, I don't know. I shouted back, wincing at the pain it caused. Ray stared at me for a long moment, then shook his head. Great. Another problem I don't need. He stormed out, leaving me alone and confused as hell in this strange place. Ray kept his distance after that first chat, only coming in to give me food or change my bandages. Didn't say much, just grunted and left. Fine by me. My head was too fucked to deal with his moody ass anyway. Days passed. I got stronger, started moving around the hut. It was a tiny place, makeshift furniture, and what looked like hunting tools scattered around. One day, I couldn't take it anymore. Hey, Ray, I called out. I need some fresh air. Can I go outside? He looked at me for a long moment, then just opened the door. Guess that was a yes. The forest was insane. So green, birds chirping, the works. I breathed deep, feeling better than I had in days. This is beautiful, I said. Ray grunted. It's home? You out here alone? He tensed up. What's it to you? Just asking, man. Seems lonely. His eyes softened a bit. It is, but it's safer this way. Safer from what? He turned away. Doesn't matter. You'll be leaving soon as you remember who you are. I felt a weird pang at that. And if I don't? Ray looked at me, something unreadable in his eyes. Then I guess we've both got problems. After that day outside, things shifted between us. Ray started talking more, showing me around his little setup. We'd go foraging and he'd point out which plants were edible, which ones could kill you. One night, we were sitting by the fire, and I decided to push my luck. So why are you really out here, Ray? He stared into the flames for a long moment. You really want to know? Yeah, I do. He took a deep breath. I'm gay. My village. They don't take kindly to that. Oh, shit, I said. They kick you out? Ray laughed, but there was no humor in it. Worse. They killed the man I loved. My father, he's the chief. He saved my life by sending me here. I didn't know what to say, so I just reached out and put my hand on his shoulder. He stiffened at first, then relaxed. Thanks, Blue, he said softly. Blue? Yeah, it's what I've been calling you in my head. Your eyes, they're like the sea. I smiled. I like it. We sat there in silence, the fire crackling between us. Something was changing. I could feel it. And for the first time since I woke up in this place, I wasn't in a hurry to leave. After Ray's confession, we got closer. Days blended together, but in a good way. We'd work in his garden, go swimming, talk for hours. I started feeling things I couldn't explain. One day, we were by the stream. Ray had just thrown me in to teach me how to swim. What the fuck, man? I spluttered, spitting out water. Ray just laughed, a real laugh this time. It hit me right in the chest. Come on, Blue. Show me what you've got. I grinned and grabbed his ankle, pulling him in. We wrestled in the water, laughing like idiots. Then suddenly we were close. Too close. I could see every fleck of gold in his eyes. Blue, he whispered, his hand on my cheek. I leaned in, our lips almost touching. But Ray pushed me away. We can't. Why not? I asked, hurt and confused. Because you'll remember who you are someday, and then you'll leave. I swam closer. What if I don't want to? Ray looked at me, conflict in his eyes. Then he pulled me in and kissed me hard. It felt like coming home to a place I'd never been. When we finally broke apart, we were both breathing heavy. Fuck, Ray said. Yeah, I agreed. We didn't talk much after that, but that night, for the first time, we shared the bed without pretending it was just for warmth. Things were good with Ray, really fucking good. But as weeks passed, weird flashes started hitting me. A woman's face, a fancy office, someone calling me Grant. One night, I woke up gasping, another dream fading. Blue, you okay? Ray mumbled, pulling me close. Yeah, I think I'm starting to remember. He tensed up. Hey, I said, turning to face him, it doesn't change anything. But it did. The next day, we were out hunting when a memory slammed into me so hard I dropped to my knees. Blue, Ray was there in an instant. What's wrong? I have a brother, I choked out. And a girlfriend, Diana. Ray's face went blank. He helped me up, but I could feel him pulling away. That's good, he said, voice flat. You're remembering. Ray, wait. We should head back. It's getting dark. That night, for the first time in weeks, he slept on the floor. I lay awake, torn between the life I was remembering and the one I'd built here. In the morning, Ray wouldn't meet my eyes. I think it's time for you to go home, Blue, he said. Or should I say, Grant? The name felt wrong in his mouth. I wanted to argue to stay, but the memories were getting clearer. I had responsibilities, people waiting for me. I guess you're right, I said, hating every word. Ray nodded, his jaw tight. I hope you get back. As we packed, I tried to memorize every detail of the hut of Ray. I had a feeling I was about to lose something precious, and I was powerless to stop it. The trip back to civilization was quiet, tense. Ray barely looked at me. When we reached the edge of the forest, he handed me a phone and some cash. This should get you home, he said, voice hollow. I grabbed his arm. Ray, don't, he cut me off. Just go be Grant. He turned and walked away. I wanted to run after him, but my feet wouldn't move. Instead, I called the number that felt most familiar. 2 months later, I was back in my penthouse, staring at spreadsheets. Everything felt wrong. My clothes were too tight, the air too clean. I missed the forest, Miss Ray. My brother Bo barged in. Grant, we need to talk about the Johnson account. I blinked at him. Who? Bo sighed. Come on, bro. You've been back for weeks. Time to get your head in the game? Right. I muttered, the game. Hours later, Diana came over. She tried to kiss me, but I turned away. What's wrong, baby? She pouted. I looked at her, trying to feel something. Anything. Nothing. Just tired. Just that night I dreamed of Ray. When I woke up, my pillow was wet. The next day, Bob cornered me again. Look, Greg, I've been running things while you were away. Maybe it's best if we make that permanent. Just sign these papers. I stared at the documents, feeling like I was underwater. This was my life, right? So why did it feel so fucking wrong? I need to think about it, I said. Bo's smile tightened. Sure, bro, take your time. As he left, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Suit, tie, slicked back hair. I didn't recognize the man staring back at me. For the first time since I come back, I let myself whisper the name I'd been avoiding. Blue. I couldn't sleep that night, Ray's face haunting me. By morning, I'd made up my mind. I was going to sign those papers, let Bo handle the business. Maybe then I could figure out who the hell I really was. I called Bo. Let's do this. Bring the paperwork over. An hour later, we were in my study. Bo was grinning like he'd won the lottery as he laid out the documents. You're doing the right thing, Grant, he said, handing me a pen. I was about to sign when my butler knocked. Mr. Grant, there's a man here. Says he's looking for Blue. The pen clattered to the desk. My heart stopped. Send him in, I croaked. Bo frowned. Who the hell is Blue? I ignored him, eyes fixed on the door. And there he was, Ray, looking out of place in his rough clothes, but still as beautiful as ever. Blue, he said, his voice sending shivers down my spine. I stood up so fast I knocked over my chair. Ray, what are you? He held out his hand. There was a ring in his palm. You left this behind. The moment I saw it, memories exploded in my head. The yacht, Diana in bed with Bo, the fight, falling overboard. Grant, who is this guy? Bo's voice was sharp, worried. I looked at my brother, really looked at him, and I knew. He's the man who saved my life, I said slowly, after you tried to kill me. Bo went pale. What are you talking about? But I remembered everything now. I turned to Ray, my heart pounding. You found me. You saved me. Ray nodded, his eyes never leaving mine. I couldn't let you go without knowing the truth. I took a step towards him, then another. Bo grabbed my arm. Grant, don't listen to this guy. He's clearly crazy. I shook him off hard. No, Bo. The crazy thing is that I almost trusted you again. I reached Ray, took the ring from his hand. Our fingers brushed, and I felt more alive than I had in months. Thank you, I said softly. Ray's lips quirked in a small smile. Anytime, Blue. Behind us, I heard Bo fumbling for his phone, probably calling security, but I didn't care. For the first time since I'd come back, I knew exactly who I was and what I wanted. I turned to face my brother, Ray solid and real beside me. Time to set things right. Bo, put the fucking phone down, I growled. He froze, eyes darting between Ray and me. Grant, you're not thinking straight. Oh, I'm thinking clearer than I have in months, I said, stepping towards him. You and Diana. On the yacht? Ring any bells? Bo's face went from pale to ghost white. I don't know what you're talking about. Bullshit, I spat. I remember everything. Finding you two in bed, the fight on deck, you pushing me overboard. Ray's hand on my shoulder kept me from lunging at Bo. Blue, he said softly. Easy. Bo's eyes narrowed. Blue, what the fuck is going on? Just then, the door burst open. Diana rushed in, all fake smiles and concern. Baby, I heard you were meeting with Ba, and I thought, oh, she stopped short, seeing Ray. Who's this? I laughed, a harsh sound. This is the man who actually gives a damn about me, unlike you two. Diana's smile faltered. Grant, honey, what are you saying? He's saying, Ray growled, that he knows what you did. The room went dead silent. I could practically see the gears turning in Bo and Diana's heads, trying to find a way out. Grant, Bo started, whatever you think happened. Save it, I cut him off. I'm done with your lies. Both of you. I turned to Ray, ignoring their protests. Let's get out of here. As we headed for the door, Bo made one last desperate attempt. You can't leave the company. I spun around, fury burning through me. Fuck the company and fuck you both. You tried to kill me for money and power. Well, congratulations, it's all yours. I grabbed Ray's hand and walked out, leaving Bo and Diana stuttering behind us. In the elevator, Ray looked at me, concern in his eyes. You okay, Blue? I took a deep breath, feeling lighter than I had in years. Yeah, I think I finally am. As we stepped out into the sunlight, I knew this was just the beginning. There'd be legal battles, press to deal with, but with Ray by my side, I was ready to face it all. Time to start living as the person I wanted to be, not the one they tried to make me. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Lawyers, cops, fucking reporters everywhere. But through it all, Ray was my rock. We were sitting in my lawyer's office going over the case against Bo and Diana. Mr. Grant, with your testimony and the evidence we've gathered, we have a strong case for attempted murder, the lawyer said. I nodded, feeling Ray's hand squeeze mine under the table. What about the company, I asked. Well, given the circumstances, we can easily nullify any documents you signed after your return. The board is eager to have you back at the helm. I glanced at Ray, saw the flicker of worry in his eyes. And if I don't want to go back? The lawyer blinked, surprised. Well, that's your choice, of course. But, no buts, I cut him off. I'm done with that life. Later, as we left the office, Ray pulled me aside. Blue, are you sure about this? It's your family's company? I cupped his face in my hands. You're my family now, the rest is just noise. He smiled, that rare, beautiful smile that made my heart skip. Okay, Blue, what's next then? Before I could answer, we were ambushed by reporters. Mr. Grant, is it true your brother tried to kill you? Are you really giving up control of your company? Who's this man you've been seen with? I felt Ray tense beside me, ready to bolt. But I was done hiding. I grabbed the nearest microphone. Yes, my brother and ex-girlfriend tried to kill me. Yes, I'm leaving the company. And this man, I pulled Ray close. He's the one who saved me, in every way that matters. And right there, in front of God and everybody, I kissed him. And the cameras went crazy, but I didn't care. For the first time in my life, I was being true to myself. As we broke apart, Ray looked dazed. Blue, what did you just do? I grinned, starting our new life. You in? He laughed, shaking his head. Always, you idiot. We pushed through the crowd, ignoring the shouted questions. We had a future to plan, and I couldn't fucking wait to get started. The media shitstorm lasted for weeks. My face, Ray's face, plastered everywhere. Billionaire heir gives up fortune for forest lover. That was my favorite headline. We were lying low at a beach house I'd forgotten I owned, watching the sunset. You sure you're okay with all this? Ray asked, his fingers tracing patterns on my arm. I turned to face him. More than okay, for the first time in my life, I feel. Free. He smiled, but I could see the worry in his eyes. It's just, this is all so different from the forest, from the life you had with me there. I sat up, pulling him with me. Ray, listen to me. I loved our life in the forest. But it wasn't real, not completely. We were hiding you from your past, me from my memories. I took his hands in mine, but this, us facing the world together, this is real. And it's fucking terrifying and exciting and everything I want. Ray's eyes softened. Everything? Everything, I confirmed, leaning in to kiss him. Later, as we lay tangled in sheets, Ray propped himself up on an elbow. So, Blue, or should I say Grant? I wrinkled my nose, definitely Blue. Grant died in that forest. He chuckled. All right, Blue, what's next for us? I thought for a moment, how about we build a place, something between your forest and my city, a sanctuary for people who need to find themselves. Ray's eyes lit up. You mean like a home, I finished, for people like us, who don't fit in the boxes the world tries to shove them into. He pulled me close, his voice thick with emotion. I love you, you know that? I grinned against his chest. I know, I love you too, you grumpy forest hermit. As we drifted off to sleep, I felt truly at peace. The path ahead wasn't clear, but that was okay. We'd figure it out together. Blue and Ray against the world. Sounded pretty damn good to me.